grow, strategies to share, learn the way to market, put your business up there. Tune in every day, digital marketing, yay, yay, we know the way. Come learn, it's like slay. Build your brand strong, make your money long. With the podcast groove, can't go wrong. From SEO to social, emails that entice, grow your audience big, take our advice. Tune in every day, digital marketing, yay, yay, we know the way. Come learn, it's like slay.
All right, happy Thursday. We are back, Digital Marketing Network. We got Nikki Black, Jennifer J. Today is Thursday. We are talking about lead scoring. So a lot of people, they get the leads and don't really know how to manage them in the system, don't know how to mature them from one stage to the other. So we'll be digging deep into that. So lead scoring, really something people talk about, but don't always necessarily understand. What's your process, Jen, for lead scoring and making sure you're moving people across the pathway in the right order?
Yeah. So, first of all, a lot of people probably don't know what lead scoring is. And so what lead scoring is you apply a numerical value to a lead in your system based on their behaviors, right? And so that's where you always have to start. So you always have to start at, what do I value? Do I value them opening my emails more? What should get more points than others, right? Should them clicking a link get more emails? Should them filling out a form, get more points? How should we assess the points? What's valuable to us? And that's really based off of the emails you're sending, right? So if you know you're sending emails that's asking them to take action, then that action would be more valuable than anything else. And so that's kind of where you start. You have to assess, what am I sending out and what do I want them to do? And whatever that action is, if it's to schedule a call, then you can score them by that.
I like that. I like how you put the framework really simply, just really applying a numerical value to the lead based on behaviors and tasks. So say, for instance, I got a lot of folks on my newsletter email list. If they're opening the email newsletter more than 3 times a week, I know that that is a very engaged user. That'll add points to the lead. If they're not, if they haven't opened up the email in like the last 6 months, a lot of people actually will apply the theory of lead decay to the point where if you haven't engaged in 6 months, they'll drop you from the list. Do you do that? Do you employ some sort of metrics like that?
No, I don't, because we have to look at who's on your list, right? So if I'm dealing with busy entrepreneurs and busy business owners, they may not be in that place at that moment, but that doesn't mean they want to stop getting the emails, right? And so what you'll see, and you know that that's happening, is people will send out an email that'll say something like, did we break up, or did I do something wrong? Or, hey, if you don't engage with this email, I'm removing you. Some people are just really direct with it, right? And so the reason why I don't is because you may never open an email, but you see them and you remember and you connect my name to systems. You connect my name to automations. And so that's what I want. I want you to connect that. So when you are ready, you can say, oh, I know exactly where I'm going to go to get this done, because inboxes are busy, right? And even your inboxes now are doing that. I don't know if you've noticed that. I've noticed on my Gmail, the free one, not my professional one, but on my Gmail, it'll be like, oh, you haven't opened an email from this business. Do you want to still continue to hear from them?
Yeah.
And, that's now what we're dealing with too. So even if you don't remove them, your email inbox provider will do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, what are some things? I know folks are big on the lead magnets, whether it be a free PDF or free report or something like that. What are some things that you're trying to do to really keep folks engaged and make sure those leads stay engaged with those emails as they see them?
Yeah. So for me, I just do tips and strategies and just everyday system stuff, things that happen. So that's kind of what I do with mine. I think you can be too noisy
Mm,
in your emails too, because what is your goal? Are you really trying to help these businesses, or are you really trying to help them get to a certain point? So if you give them, I don't deliver lead magnets in my email. Because if you keep giving them lead magnets, what are they going to implement? When is the action? You're helping the analysis paralysis, a problem I have. But you're helping that and you're feeding into that, and they'll never take action.
gotcha. So now, what is your opinion around going in for that immediate conversion? Because I was listening to a guy, and his theory was, if you give them all of the information that they need to make a decision in the email, they're more likely to engage. So if they have all of the sort of mysteries solved, they know how much it is, how long it takes, and all those things. What's your opinion on trying to push the conversion straight from the email? Or do you move to a meeting before the email? Or what's your thought around that latter?
Yeah. So I am moving to doing exactly that. I just need to make sure the back end is set up to support that, because we're taught, oh, push people to a call, but do you really need the call if you have all the information? So I'm with whoever that was that said that, because if you're ready to take action and it's for you, you don't need to get on the call. And if we think about our buying power now, we have all kinds of apps. I was just having this conversation with my daughter yesterday. We have all these apps, and she's like, Mom, why do you have all those apps? Oh, because I think I need it at the time. Why? Not because I got on a call with somebody and they convinced me. It was because I saw something and I was like, oh, I need that, let me try. And so why do we need to do anything any different, right? If you have all the information and you're ready to go, click the button and sign up.
That's really interesting. That is super interesting. Now, so what would be one of the examples of apps that really kind of fulfill this thought of the strategy of immediate purchase? What are some of the apps that you've seen where you've just kind of like dove in and they fulfilled the promise?
Right. Let me think, because when she was like, what are all these apps you're buying? I'll give you a prime example. So although it was recommended to me, Taja.ai, right?
Yes.
So although it was recommended to me, had I seen it and they spoke to me and said, hey, are you tired of editing videos? Why, yes, I am. Are you is it taking away your time to edit videos and you really don't know how? And don't you wish there was a way that you can just have AI edit your videos for you, create the keywords, and then create shorts out of them? That's a no-brainer, right? Because that's a pain point. And so I'm a click. I don't need to talk to anybody. I may need to engage with the chat if I have a specific question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm clicking, I'm signing up, and I'm going to put my first video in there and see what it gives me.
I like that. So now I've got another question, specifically around the behavior, because I think you're right in talking about the behavior where people are quick to identify the app they need and quick to purchase.
Mhm.
One of the things I've noticed, though, is that those purchases usually come below a certain price point. I think, and I think that price point may be somewhere, and it might differ for people, but maybe between $49 to $79. I think
Mhm.
once
Mhm.
you're over that price point, people start to think about it. But what has been your experiences, if there's any relationship between price point, people's readiness to buy, and if you've noticed any success one way or another?
So I'm gonna just go from my experience and what I see the people around me do. If Now, yes, price point is always, people are always looking at the price, but if you have the money, the price is not the issue. It's, is it going to do what I need it to do? If it's going to do what I need it to do, let's get it.
Gotcha. That's an interesting perspective. Now,
Mhm.
do you think a lot of folks out there are making those above $100 decisions just online, or do they usually need to speak to somebody, or is it just like an online decision?
No, you buy ClickFunnels, that's $97. You're not
That is
talking to
true.
Russell Brunson. You are not talking to Russell, okay? Or anybody on his team. You click, you buy, you set your funnels up, right? Nobody's doing it for you. None of that. And then if you feel like you need to add on stuff, you're adding that on without talking to anybody. So, yes,
I
that's
like
the
that.
prime example of it.
That is a
Mhm,
good point. That is a good example. Now,
mhm.
in terms of, I know you do a lot of lead gen seminars and workshops. What are some of the first, let's say, first three things that you suggest people do when they're trying to set up their lead generation system?
Yeah, for sure. So I always walk you through a process, and that process is, think about all the ways that people contact you. How do people contact you to do business? Is it on your social media channels? If so, which ones? Are people texting you? Are people emailing you? You're getting word of mouth. Are people calling you? And those are the channels that you want to set up to capture those things automatically without you being there, right? So we can set a system to each one of those. If somebody texts you, we have text messaging that can send it right back to them, right? But if you're giving them your personal cell phone, which you shouldn't be, then now you have to change some behaviors, like, hey, this is my number now, this is my business number, this is what I want you to use. And then you can set up those channels to be marketed via text. Then if people are calling you, you can use high levels missed call text back to text them back, right? If it's social media DM, we already talked about that. Now we have the DM, and now we have the comments, right? And so we always want people to follow our process. Then you always want to create an additional capture mechanism that you can just send to people. So maybe it's somebody who's like, hey, I'm trying to refer someone. It may be just a friend, I'm trying to refer someone. Oh, here, give them this link. Or you can ask them, well, what's their information? A lot of times I ask for the information. Oh, give me their name and email. And then I'm putting them in those automation channels. So now, yes, it's a little bit of manual work, but then it runs, right? And so those are the things we have to think about getting off our plate, even
Yeah.
when we're networking. And this is another conversation I have with my daughter, and she's like, mom, yes, I got Popple and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, I moved on from that. Because I found that there's a bottleneck in that as well with the digital business cards. Because if I send you my information and you send me your information, if I don't remember your name, your information is just in my phone. And if there's nothing set up automation wise on the back end, then nobody's getting reminded or followed up at all,
I
right?
like that.
And so that's why I was using Popple for that. But now I found people are like, oh God, they don't want to enter their information into the form.
Hmm.
So now I created that with high level, I solved that problem. All right, here's my QR code, scan it. It's going to pull up my information in your text. Just hit send. So when they hit send, now it's giving me their number. It's still going to ask them, but I can frame that conversation by saying, hey, let me show you. You mind if I show you what I do? And then now, instead of me standing there having a conversation, they're interacting with the chat bot and it's talking for me.
I like that. I like that, the whole strategy of setting it up so it's automated per channel. And again, I like how you pointed out, everybody has their channel that really works for them. Some people are big on Instagram. Some people, Facebook Messenger is a big thing. Got one client that's big on WhatsApp, but no matter what those channels are, you can set up the automations so that the sequence is automated and it's not really dependent on you to follow up. Because as you said, a lot of times people are going and networking and they're meeting probably 100 people at a time, maybe 200 people at a time. And so they're not always going to remember you specifically or remember where they met you. But if you set up that automated sequence that's relevant, you can get in there while it's still fresh and really kind of tell the full story of what you have to say to that lead. So I like the way you put it together. So now I know you've got another workshop. I think you're doing a workshop once a month, Thursdays. But when's the next workshop for September so people can kind of start to figure out how to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you're just gonna make me pick this date, huh, Mickey? So I'm gonna make you pick this date. So the next workshop is September 19th at 2 p.m.
All right, September 19th, 2 p.m. Be in the house. Now, is it a free workshop? Or people have to pay? What's the deal?
It's free workshop. So it's free. Got sales, now what? And this is what we're talking about, how to capture and convert more leads with AI automation and chat.
I love it. I love it. Got sales. Now what? And now, do they register on your site? Is it?
Yeah, they can register at systemsactivate.com/register.
I love it. I love it. So if you're out there, you need to get your leads together. Got sales. Now what? Figure it out. Systemsactivate/register. Be there or be square. And I think this is it for the week, Thursday. So weekend is right there, but we will be back next week. Until then, stay automated, people.
And that's a wrap, fam. Thanks for tuning in to another fire episode of Digital Marketing NetWurk. We hope you're leaving with some new tricks up your sleeve and a smile on your face. But don't just sit on this knowledge. Get to work. And if you're ready to level up and put your biz on autopilot, here's the play. Text the word systems to 470-517-7006. We'll hook you up with everything you need to automate your hustle and free up your time for the things that really matter, like figuring out where to spend all that extra cash. Stay sharp, stay hungry, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Listen up now. Gotta tell you about a show, Digital Marketing NetWurk with a secret flow. We got the tips, yo, strategies to share, learn the way to market, put your business on